13. Kellogg's is a shitty diner right in the middle of Williamsburg. Williamsburg is a weird little neighborhood in Brooklyn, right next to Manhattan, where a ton of artists and queers started living about 20 years ago when Manhattan started getting too expensive. They displaced a bunch of Hasidic Jews, which is gross, especially since it's all people who look like they're in an experimental disco punk bands. Because they are in experimental disco punk bands. It's pretty creepy, and Kellogg's used to be a shitty diner right in the middle of it. Although they redid it a little while ago, and now it's way less shitty, even though the onion rings are still greasy, the coffee's still burned, and everyone who works there still seems like they hate you. In Maria's trite, lifelong quest for authenticity, Kellogg's still kind of rates a blip. The sky is just starting to turn from black to blue as she's chaining up her bike outside. Bars in New York close at 4. What this means is that Barcade, which is across the street and down a little from Kellogg's, kicked the last bunch of drunks out into the street about an hour ago, and since they were drunk, they wanted greasy things. So they're all inside Kellogg's at 5:15 on a Tuesday morning. They are probably graphic designers or something. Telecommuting, expensive fake DIY haircut, drunk graphic designers. These are the situations where if you are trans, you are going to get read as trans, and it is going to be a situation. It hasn't happened to Maria in a long time, but it used to, and that sort of experience leaves a mark, so she's hoping the little corner booth under the fake tree is empty so she can hide out there with her face in her notebook and the drunks will ignore her. She goes inside, and the place is packed with haircuts and vintage jackets. Whatever, fuck 'em. Maria's aggressive veneer of tough monsterness goes up, and she stomps through the table to the table in the back, which is empty, like she's wading through a river, head down, no reason to stop. Nobody notices her. It's funny. Nobody ever does anymore. It's just when they used to, they were so vocal about it, that still to this day, you worry. Sucks. Whatevs. You can't help but to wonder what people see when they look at you. Androgynous fag? To be real, that's a look she tried for when she first started transitioning, which doesn't disrupt strangers' worldviews much, and theoretically they will just ignore you. But no, you can tell that Maria has tits. You can see from the cleavage she's sharing with the world that they're not pretend. She wears pretty small tank tops. Maybe they just know what a transsexual is and are respectful. Yeah, totally. Clearly. It's been her experience that if people look at you and figure out that you are trans, they are pretty eager to tell you, no matter their demographic. Teenage boys like to talk shit loudly so their friends can get in on it. Older women like to wink or give a sly little smile. Straight men, who know they're boring, make angry faces. Straight men, who think they're cool, give you a smirk. Straight women will give you a little aside to let you know that they are totally onto you. Gay boys want to be your best friend, except the Human Rights Campaign type, who think that they're... Fuck. Who think that you're trying to steal their rights. And dykes. Dykes are hard to read. Too much expectation and stress. So the whole time, all these people are failing to make all these responses to her, to the fact that she exists. Maria is trying to drink as much coffee as she can. And to solve her relationship situation, she's like, Jesus, can I get 20 minutes where I don't think about being trans? Please? Then she realizes she's been at her table for 10 minutes. Nobody's acknowledged her, and she actually is literally halfway literally halfway toward 20 minutes where she doesn't have to think about being trans. She makes eye contact with a waiter. He brings her a menu. She orders eggs, fries, toast, and coffee. Where she grew up, this used to cost $2.05. Here, it's $8.95. She takes out her notebook. She can't shut off her Hetdar, though. For whatever reason, she's convinced the graphic designers are going to be assholes. But when the waiter brings the coffee, she takes a sip, feels her shoulders and back tense, and then relax. Like, actually relax. And forgets about them. She has another sip and opens her notebook, one of those fancy moleskin fuckers Hemingway used to write in, even though Hemingway and his patriarchal, strong, silent type can suck a dick. She doesn't actually write or diagram or make a list or anything. She doodles. Since grade school, she's always been able to pay attention way better if her hands are occupied, whether it's to a teacher or a movie or to her own thoughts. She's drawing guitars, girls with super heavy dark bangs, piglets, little wax paper bags of powders, syringes, and a calendar. Syringes and a calendar because she's late for a shot of estrogen, like a week late. Eureka, motherfucker. Maria is supposed to take a shot of estrogen every 2 weeks. Some people take a pill or two every day, but she can never remember, so she shoots it into her thigh, and man, if you do not keep your estrogen levels consistent, you become a useless and fucked up mess. It's just like, it hadn't even occurred to her that she was going on romantic late night adventures and drinking herself stupid because she needed a shot. That's good to remember. Prioritize a shot tonight, she tells herself. There was a time when she was so willful about being trans and having her shots and everything that she carried her little cardboard box with needles and bottles and alcohol pads and stuff around with her everywhere. She'd just lay out old syringes on the table at Veselka while everybody ate pierogies just to be confrontational. But not so much anymore. It also explains why she's been so goddamn hung up on being trans. Her body is telling her, hey fucker, I am a trans body. You need to do the things that you do to take care of a trans body. Normally, she's not all the way over being trans, but normally she is a lot more over it than this. So cool. Check. Noted. She still has 2 hours to think about Steph, and herself, and Brooklyn, and Kieran, but the bent-over little man who waits at tables at 6 a.m. brings over her food, and she slides her notebook aside and douses everything in ketchup.